Hello, today we're going to do our last earring in our Christmas sequel. And today, you'll see at the end, but I couldn't quite get them all the way finished because of a mishap, but you'll still get the idea of what we're doing. So, sorry if you hear anything in the background. We have people over because it's Christmas Eve. I hope you guys are going to have a Merry Christmas. So these are awesome. You get them in a big pack, and they're little Christmas charms. And then I have these little bails that you're going to attach on the back with UV resin. And you just put a little tiny dot on each one. And see how it's just a really little amount. And then you take your bail. And how I like to do it is I sort of slide it in. That way, if you plop it right on it, it's going to overflow on the edges of your Christmas things. So you don't want to do that. So go ahead and just slide it in and then put it to where your top of it, where your jump ring is going to go, is right in the middle. And it can take you just a minute to get it arranged just right in the middle. And do you see how that's a heart shape? Don't let that go over the top because you'll be able to see it from the front of your earring. So push it down far enough where that's not going to be seen from the front. Then put it under the UV light for about 30 seconds because we're going to put it under again after we do this next step. So take some UV resin and put it on the back, but you don't want to put a whole bunch because it will run over of each of your earrings. See how I'm kind of putting it in the middle? Then you're going to take a couple toothpicks, one to kind of hold it and stabilize it, and the other one to move your resin to the edges. And you just want to very gently take that toothpick and move it around your edges. And see how I'm just doing it to where it's making that doming effect. You don't want it to run over because it's going to make a mess. And you want to cover the whole back of your bail. And make sure you get every single edge. That way it looks even and professional. Because if you don't, it's not going to look right. So make sure you get it onto all of your edges. This can take about a couple minutes per earring, but it's so worth it in the end to make it look nice. And do that to both of the earrings. And then put it under the UV light for like 2 minutes. And look how pretty they are. These Santa Claus ones were actually the favorite one of this bunch that I did. So here's some little wreaths. I'm telling you, these charms were so cute, and it's a huge pack of them. You get a really good deal on it. So for the wreaths, I chose the circle bails. And you just do the same thing. You're going to put a little tiny dot of the UV resin and then slide in your bail on the back of it. And then once you do that, you're going to put it under the UV light and set it. But make sure before you put it under the UV light, you have it just how you want it, because that UV light's going to set it and it's going to be permanent. So see how there's a little bow at the top of that wreath? I made sure that the top of that was right in the middle because it'll be super noticeable if it's even a little bit crooked. So spend some time making it look just right where you want it before you get it under that light. And you can see how it'll kind of move a little bit because the UV resin is a little slippery. But make sure and double check your other one to make sure it didn't move, and then get it under the UV light. Now, if you're a beginner, you might want to do them one at a time until you get used to it. But I wouldn't do more than a couple at a time because it has a tendency to move a little bit. I didn't speed this part up because I wanted to show you how long it takes me to get it right in the middle. Okay, so there's the UV light, and this is where you're going to do the doming part. Now, some people might ask me if you can skip this step. I would not, because I'm sure your bell would eventually fall off. It wouldn't be as sturdy. So definitely add that layer of doming to the back. Move it all along the edges. This wreath was a lot easier because it's a circle. It didn't have a lot of ridges to have to get the UV resin into. But see how I'm making sure it's getting on the top? That's going to seal those edges at the top and make sure that bell's extra sturdy. Just like that, do it to both sides. So these Christmas trees were really cute. And see how the bell I'm going to use is like a little triangle? I chose that because the top shape of that Christmas tree. This one was a little bit more tricky to get right because I was afraid it was going to show on the front of the earring. So I had to push it down a little farther than I normally would to make sure. See how that's moving? That's what I mean when you have to check it. But you really want to make sure that you're getting it to where you're not going to see it in the front because it'll ruin your earring and you can't use it. So see how I pushed it down just a slight bit too far, just like that. and then quickly get it under your UV light once you have it the way you want it. And so next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your jump ring, and this is where I ran into problems. The kit that I got for these, because see how this is like a bronze collar? Now I don't have a kit of jump rings for bronze collar, so I need to order some to finish these earrings. The little jump rings that came with these earring hooks did not fit the bails. So, because my bails are really, they're wider than the jump rings. So for illustration, I'm just going to show you what it will look like with the proper jump ring size, but this is gold. It doesn't match, so I'm not going to keep it on there. But you just take your jump ring, preferably the same color, and then you add on your earring hook, just like that, and use 2 sets of pliers to close that off and make it look nice and neat and even, because you want it to look nice if you're going to sell it or gift it. And then this is what it looks like as a finished earring, which is adorable. I love it, but you definitely want that all to be the same color. So I'm going to have to get some bigger jump rings and that bronze collar. And then I'm just going to show you what they look like as a pair, which they all look so cute. I love how they turned out, but I'm just going to have to order bigger jump rings for those. And I love these little Christmas trees. See how you can't see that in the front? That's what you want. You don't want to see the back of that bail and from the front. The wreaths turned out really cute. And so I'm going to tell you that in my description, you can find all the links to the items I used to make these earrings, including the bells, the charms, everything. I'll put it in the description if you want to find those. They turned out really cute. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I know this is Christmas Eve. Spend some time with your family. Have a great day. Bye.